Imagine building your career for decades, becoming the face of a network, only to have it all stripped away overnight. Not because of your ratings, not because of your performance, but because powerful forces decided you had to go. That's the storm Jimmy Kimmel finds himself in after ABC abruptly suspended him. And in the midst of this media shakeup, another story quietly unfolds. Wendy Williams, a broadcasting icon, is still trapped in a battle for her own freedom, and at the center of both conversations, Charlamagne Tha God, outspoken, unfiltered, and never afraid to call it like it is. This is CelebSpill, and today we dive deep into Charlamagne's explosive take on Jimmy Kimmel's suspension, his heartfelt update on Wendy Williams, and what it all means for the future of media. Stay tuned, because this one hits hard. And before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button to join the CelebSpill family. We've got the hottest celebrity updates every single day, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. The 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival lit up Las Vegas with star-studded performances from Glorilla, Jelly Roll, and even Mariah Carey. But backstage, one of the most talked about moments didn't come from the stage, it came from Charlamagne Tha God. In a candid chat, Charlamagne revealed how he and his wife snuck away from their busy family life to enjoy the festival. But beyond the glitz and music, the conversation quickly turned serious, touching on viral headlines, media power struggles, and personal battles faced by some of his closest mentors. For Charlamagne, Wendy Williams isn't just a media personality, she's his mentor. He credits her for shaping his career, especially reminding him early on that a broadcaster must be more than their guest list. He shared, "You can only interview Jay-Z once if you're lucky, maybe you'll never get Beyonce. What matters is whether people care about what you have to say every day." That wisdom carried Charlamagne through decades of success, but now, Wendy herself faces her toughest fight yet, her battle to escape a restrictive guardianship in New York. Charlamagne admitted he hasn't spoken to her as much recently, but his last interaction was warm. Wendy even called him on his birthday. He reassured fans that she sounded fine, and we all saw her front row at Fashion Week, proving she's still a force of presence and style. But Charlamagne's tone shifted when talking about her legal struggles. He compared guardianship to a prison, a place where someone is trapped in a situation they don't want to be in. His words cut deep. "I just want Wendy to be happy. Nobody deserves to live in a cage, especially when you've given so much of yourself to the world." This isn't just about one woman, it's about a larger conversation on independence, power, and the right to control your own life. And through it all, Charlamagne makes one thing clear: he'll always stand by Wendy, hoping for the day she finally gets her freedom. Then came the headline that rocked Hollywood: Jimmy Kimmel suspended by ABC. For many, this was framed as a free speech issue, with debates swirling about whether comedians and late-night hosts are being silenced. But Charlamagne cut through the noise with brutal honesty. He pointed out that former President Donald Trump had already put Kimmel on his so-called hit list months before. In Charlamagne's view, this wasn't just a spontaneous decision by ABC. It was a calculated move influenced by political pressure. And then he asked the question so many are afraid to face: why do we keep pretending not to see what's right in front of us in America? But what struck fans most was his empathy for Kimmel. Charlamagne admitted it would be incredibly difficult for Jimmy to return to ABC after being betrayed by his own parent company. At some point, networks need to show they actually care about their talent. These are the people who've carried your brand for years, driving ratings and revenue. If you can't stand by them in the tough times, how can they ever trust you again? Charlamagne's words highlight a brewing crisis in late-night television. Ratings are down, networks are cautious, and the very hosts who once defined American culture are being left vulnerable. For Kimmel, the choice is brutal: fight his way back into a system that turned on him, or walk away forever. Charlamagne didn't stop there. He widened the lens to discuss how media companies treat their stars. Yes, business matters. Networks answer to shareholders, advertisers, and political wins. But as Charlamagne pointed out, the talent is what keeps audiences coming back. Without loyal viewers, without personalities we trust, the entire machine falls apart. He contrasted ABC with iHeartMedia, his own home. Unlike television networks, iHeart has historically allowed space for a wide range of voices: conservative, liberal, independent. From Sean Hannity to Rush Limbaugh, from Ben Shapiro to Mehdi Hasan, the platform embraces dialogue across the spectrum, and that's what makes The Breakfast Club so powerful. Charlamagne, DJ Envy, and their guests reflect the full spectrum of America's conversations, from politics to pop culture, from hip-hop to policy. It's messy, it's raw, but it's real. That, he says, is what networks should aspire to. Not silencing, not suspending, but amplifying voices, even when they clash. As the night rolled on in Las Vegas, the festival crowd cheered for Glorilla, Jelly Roll, and Mariah Carey. But behind the music, Charlamagne left us with something far louder, a wake-up call. Jimmy Kimmel's suspension isn't just about one comedian, it's about how media corporations treat their stars, and whether loyalty still means anything in today's cutthroat landscape. And Wendy Williams? Her fight isn't just personal, it's a reminder of how fragile freedom can be, even for icons. Charlamagne's words cut through the glamour and the noise, reminding us that behind every headline is a human being, someone who deserves respect, freedom, and dignity. And that's exactly why conversations like these matter. Thank you for watching CelebSpill. If you found this story powerful, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got more celebrity updates, deeper dives, and unfiltered truths coming your way every single day. Because here at CelebSpill, we don't just cover the headlines, we uncover the heart behind them.